Imagine this. The best pasta sauce you have ever tasted sits abandoned on a plate. Wasted sauce. That is a tragedy. If only you had used Barilla al Bronzo pasta. Its bronze-cut texture holds your sauce and scoops up every last drop. The Italians call that scarpetta. Capture sauce the Italian way. Barilla al Bronzo. Click or tap the banner to find out more.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, it's been a while since I've talked on the music genre, I guess it would be considered a music genre name. I don't know. But here's the thing, though. I really don't particularly care. I guess like those that get offended but don't say anything, you don't have a reason to be offended because I'm not talking about you. There's another group of people that I'm talking about within this music genre. But anyways, we're going to be talking about K-pop. I used to talk about K-pop a lot back, I think around the time when I started my podcast. Hold on for a second. Let me check real quick. Have I not done a podcast episode talking about K-pop? Oh, no, I have. Yeah, it was like back in season 51. That was the last time I had talked about K-pop, and it was 2021 when I talked about it. But I talked about it 4 times in 2019 because at that time period, K-pop was very annoying. You know, like, and here's the thing: it wasn't the music, it was the fans. Like, if you guys was on Twitter during that time frame, the fans, and the thing is this: the fans, they were so annoying back then. The Twitter fans, I should say. They're still around. Like, they're still being annoying. And no, the one thing that I wanted to say and talk about, like, there's a reason on why I'm talking about this, because so I'm scrolling through Twitter, and this was, I don't know if it was, I don't think it was tweeted out. I think it was either yesterday. I think, it was yesterday when I had seen this tweet where the person, whoever it was, and this is how they always do things. They post a video of some K-pop artist dancing, singing, whatever, and then they always have it where they're talking about whatever is trending that day, and they have to add something K-pop related to it. And so what they talked on, and I'm like, fam, look, if you're trying, do not, and this is just if I was a K-pop artist, do not promote music that way. But this is what they did. So it was a few days after, because the music artist XXXTentacion recently it was the 7-year it's been 7 years since he passed away. I was gonna call it a 7-year anniversary, but I'm like, feel like the word anniversary is more so used for like good things. That day wasn't good, all right. So, but anyways, yeah, it's been 7 years a few days ago since the artist XXXTentacion had passed away. Still affects a lot of people till this day. I mean, if you've seen some of the tweets that people were making, you know, you had people tweeting what they were doing that day. And then it was like, there is also some videos being posted, pictures like, a lot of, XXXTentacion fans, they were talking that day, right? So of course, XXXTentacion is going to start trending. So what K-pop, fans, what they like to do is whatever is trending, they gotta add or promote whatever K-pop artists they like alongside with that trend. Now that was something that I talked on a while back, because that was it was annoying when it's you're trying to see why a certain thing is trending. So let's say for an example, you see Grand Theft Auto 6 trending, and you're like, oh man, it might be some new stuff coming out about Grand Theft Auto 6. Well, let me just go ahead and click on this hashtag and see what it's all about. You go on there and you just see a bunch of different K-pop artists dancing. And I'm like, fam, I'm here for Grand Theft Auto. I can care less about K-pop. Why am I looking at this right now? So anyways, But yeah, that's what the person. So what they did with XXXTentacion. And I know people are probably all like, well, what did they say that was so bad? What did they say where you had to make a whole podcast episode about it? Because I could have cared less if they just went and posted the video and not say what they said. But they go on to say, oh, this K-pop artist is 28 years old. That's something that XXXTentacion can't do. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, look, I don't know what hatred you have towards XXXTentacion, and it probably has something to do with his, his history with like crimes and stuff. But here's the thing, though, which you have to understand: there was somebody that was XXXTentacion. This man was a brother to some. He was a son. He was a friend. He was a music icon to many. So when you're having to promote another artist, or I guess put them in that same conversation as XXXTentacion, wouldn't you think that, okay, XXXTentacion, you have your mind made up. He's not the best artist. He has this bad history. You know, he was doing some things, right? Why do you feel the need to put whatever your favorite K-pop artist is? Why do you feel the need to put them in the same conversation? Why do you think that you need to promote their music or promote them alongside with XXXTentacion? Because if they're the better artist, you're not even going to be thinking about XXXTentacion. You see what I mean? That's the thing. That's the problem with K-pop artists is that K-pop must either be a dead or a dying genre to where K-pop fans think. And here's the thing, and it's probably not even like that. That's the thing with these K-pop artists is you never see them doing this. It's always the fans. So I don't have no beef. I don't have no problems with the artists. It's the fan base where I'm like, if you guys think that by doing what you're doing is going to help them, it's not. It really isn't. If anything, it's just adding more hatred to the hatred that they already have. Because that's one thing about the entertainment business. You're going to start off with some haters. Now, how do you think that's going to work out for this artist? Because if I'm an artist and this is how I see my fans acting, I'm telling them to stop. I'm like, there is no reason for you guys to be carrying on like that, putting down other people so you can promote me, and all that's just gonna be is bad for me at the end of the day. Because yeah, you see where some K-pop artists is, where it's like they make it through the ranks, they put out good music, people be wanting to do features with them, but you don't see that with everybody. Because I guarantee and I promise you, there are a lot of artists, there are a lot of people out there where they're like, you know what? I know the business with these artists, and then they're blending in the artists with the fans, and now it's like these guys, they can't get the K-pop artists, they can't get the features that they need. They can't get the brand deals and all these other different things that's going to help elevate their career. Why? Because the fans, these toxic fans, want to put them on this pedestal and make it seem like that they're the greatest thing since water or something, and it's like, fam, these are just music artists. They're not kings, queens, gods, princesses, none of that. These are just regular artists. They are no different than Lil Baby. They're no different than Taylor Swift. They're no different than, I'm trying to think of some other artists out there. Let me think of a country singer or something. Post Malone, I guess he would be considered a country singer now. I mean, he started off with rap. He's kind of went into that field of like country and things. Regardless, though, they're no different. They're a music artist. They're an entertainer. So at the end of the day, what makes a K-pop artist? That's why I would ask these fans. If I could sit down and talk with one of these toxic fans, I would ask them what makes them so special. Because as I see it, they're putting out a 4-minute song, just like nowadays, not 4 minutes. That's that. They don't really, you don't really see where artists be putting out 4-minute songs. All right, so like a song that's over 2 minutes, they're no different. So at the end of the day, what makes them so special? They're the same as anybody else that exists in the music industry. So that's why I'm like that. I would have to say that would be my hard hitting question to K-pop fans. What makes a K-pop artist so special? Because I would like to know. Because I see it as like, these are just regular people that exist in the world. They put out some good music. Okay, good for them. But that doesn't mean that you have to put down other people, anything that's trending to promote this artist. Don't know. And that's the thing too. Nobody cares about these K-pop artists. You see where it's like, no, don't get me wrong. K-pop artists, they do have a fan base, but you don't see them being talked about with cereal. You don't see them being talked about with politics. You don't see them being talked about, I'm trying to think with some other stuff, video games, unless, they might have a section in there, like, if it's a video game where it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto and they got like a radio station and be like, oh, this K-pop artist, that's going to be the one and only time where they get any recognition. Other than that, it's like, fam, if somebody were to ask me name 5 K-pop artists right now, I'm like, whatever is going to happen, it's going to have to happen, because I just found out about K-pop music some years ago. And I'm pretty sure K-pop music has been around for decades, if not probably longer than that. So that's my thing is this though. Even with artists that I like, okay, so when XXXTentacion was alive, I was a fan of his. I am still to this day. I mean, even though, you're not really hearing no new music, but for obvious reasons and stuff. But I would listen. I remember back when he was alive, though, I would listen to his music all the time. I always, stayed up to date when, like, he would post new music and all that stuff. But that was the thing, though. I never put down a K-pop artist just so I can promote. And that's how it's been with any artist. Whether it's XXXTentacion, Kendrick Lamar, what are some other EDM artists like Crank Dad or Skrillex or, Shaq. And I'm like, people are probably like, wait a minute, Shaq put out music? Yes. And that's the thing. I do not have to put down. There's me as a fan, and I feel like that this is how a lot of fans need to be. I'm going to let whoever the talent is, whoever the entertainer is, I'm going to let them speak for themselves. But having it where it's like, and that's something that I don't like. I don't even want my own fans to be doing that with me with content creating. I don't want them to be putting down other people. I guess maybe if it's some bad people or something. But overall, it's like, even then, still, I'm like, what's the point? I would rather have it where it's genuine fans that's just scrolling through YouTube or scrolling through Twitch or scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, whatever platform I'm posting on. You're scrolling, you come across my video, you have that option of whether you just keep scrolling or like, comment, follow, subscribe, whatever platform you're on, podcasting. It's like, sit down, listen to the podcast if not. But it's like, fam, I'm not going to lose no sleep over it. And that might be the case too, where it's like some of these K-pop artists it's like, I want to be big time. I want to be mega. And if that's the case, and then you guys are the reasons why these fans be going around acting toxic towards people. It's like, you guys aren't going to never be the way. If you guys are the reason why these fans are being toxic, you're never going to make it. You're never going to make it. You're going to be popular for the time being, 15 minutes of fame. After that, we focused on something and somebody else. So really, at the end of the day, it's like, if it is the artist that's behind this, what do you, besides like what? Yeah, you might make some money off of it. You might get some. But eventually, after a while, people are going to realize that, hey, wait a minute. It's these guys that's making these toxic fans put down other artists. Like what's up with that? Like, why do you feel the need to, to do that? That's it. That's your guys' career. So it's like, you guys gonna be struggling, trying to figure out how, like, and the fans, they gonna move on to somebody else and they're gonna be like, hey, we'll promote them and we'll do it the right way. Because the way that these guys be promoting these K-pop artists, I'm like, bro, it's either the artists are putting them up to do it, or these fans are just flat out toxic. Because, there's always going to be some toxic fans in every, fan base and things. And that's something where it's like, I don't want that. I've said that before. I'm like, I don't want no toxic fans. I don't want no fans thinking of me or looking up to me as a king or a god. I'm like, I'm just a regular person. So that's why I'm like, just seeing how people be carrying on. And I'm like, if I had some fans carrying on like that, I'm like, hey, you're going to have to chill out. Because I'm like, if anything, you making things worse. So that's why I'm like, it's stuff like that where I'm like, I will be quick to, even if it is a fan, blocking, banning them everywhere. I'm like, no. And yes, there has been times where I'm like, I didn't have to do stuff like that, where it's like fans, they get a little bit too carried away with being a fan. And I'm like, you need to relax. You need to calm down. They don't listen. I'm like, okay, you're going to get blocked. I'm like, but I'm not putting up with that. I'm like, you're going to have to go somewhere else with that. Do they end up being a hater? Yes, of course, because that's what they always do. But that's the thing, though. I'm like, it's a respect that you have, that you need to have for a person's arts and craft. You know, and that goes for both sides. That goes for somebody that you're a fan of and somebody that you're not a fan of. There is no reason whatsoever you need to be putting down another artist, dead or alive, to benefit or to help another artist out. Because if anything, that's just going to attract more. And so if that's what you're trying to do, mission accomplished. Because it's like, I guarantee and I promise you that K-pop artist that you're promoting is going to gain more haters than fans. That's probably why it's like, you see stuff like YouTube getting rid of their dislikes, or other platforms where it's like, if there was a dislike button on Twitter, I guarantee and I promise you, all them K-pop videos that be getting posted and stuff, they would definitely have more dislikes than likes. So I'm like, yeah, I probably then made myself as public enemy number one in the K-pop, sphere and stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm like, but it's like, you guys brought this on yourself. I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, yes, promote this artist, make edits of them, promote their music, like post to have like a fan account dedicated to them. But if you're having to put down other people to have it where they get a couple of clicks on their songs, I guarantee and I promise you, people ain't gonna like the music. They're not. And I'm like, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, these fans, I'm like, you guys, it's just crazy to me. It's like, after all these years, you guys still carry on the same way. And it's like, you got to ask yourself that question. What is this K-pop artist doing for you? Nothing. They put out music, but it's like, what are they doing for you? Are they giving you money? Are they congratulating you? Are they thanking you? Are they messaging you? The most that they have probably done is shake your hand at a meet and greet, take a picture, and like a tweet or Instagram post, TikTok, whatever platform you post on. That's it. But it's not like, oh, they're going to be inviting you over to their house for dinner. They ain't like they're going to be, inviting you to their wedding or whatever and stuff. Fam, they can care less about you. They honestly could. And that's why I'm like, I wish that people would understand that, but you got it where there's just people, they're just so far gone where it's like they don't have no real guidance. And so they think, oh, a K-pop artist is going to lead me to the promised land. The funny thing is, and they don't even realize that the same situation that you were in, like back in 2019, where it was like when this stuff was like really trending about like K-pop and all that stuff, you guys, if not in the worst, but you're still in the same situation that you was in before. Nobody knows who you are. Like, that's the thing where I'm like, if I'm going to spend my time on the internet, I'm going to spend time promoting myself. Or if I was a fan of somebody, I would spend time promoting them, but doing it in the right way. But I'm not going to be putting down other people to promote something. So that's why I'm like, yeah, these K-pop fans, I'm like, man, it's like they still, after all these years, still toxic. And that's it trips me out. And it's like they don't gain nothing from it. Besides, what's crazy is like you'll see where a K-pop artist would cut them off or praise the person that they're, like talking badly, that the fans is talking badly about. Then all of a sudden they want to have a switch around and be all like, oh, I'm such a big fan of XXXTentacion. It's like, weren't you just talking crazy about him the other day? Now all of a sudden this, your all-time favorite K, it's either going to be they just switch, they switch up on XXXTentacion, or they going to switch up on the K-pop artist that they're a fan of. But I'm like, yeah, when I seen that tweet, I'm like, what was the reason of this? Like, do you think that this is going to gain some sort of, like, I guess, like, promotion for it? Yeah, and it's going to be negative promotion. Because I'm like, my thing is this. Didn't it make me want to go and listen to that K-pop artist's music? I'm like, I have no desires on listening to that artist's music. Now what? I'm like, you know what's crazy is that they'll hear stuff like that and they're like, oh, now I gotta hate on him until he listens to this. No, I will never listen to that K-pop artist's song again. I'm like, I'm not going to say that I'm a hater, but I'm definitely not going to be a supporter. Because it's stuff like that where I'm like, hey, one day if I just so happen to listen to a song, then so be it. But I'm like, it's one of those things where it ain't going to be me, oh, I seen this tweet of you putting down another person to promote their music. Nah, it don't work like that. So anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.